Okay, welcome back to A Very Nice Day with Kelly Grace May and Meg Wise. I'm so happy you're here. Like I said, thank you for coming to Midtown.
I'm so happy to be here. Maybe not exactly in Midtown, but
No, it's definitely not the most ideal, but the lighting makes up for everything. That's what I always
was
tell
just
people.
saying that.
I'm like,
The
you
lighting
won't
in
even
the studio is the best lighting I've ever sat in.
just wait till you see it on video. You're like, we've never looked better.
I
Like
can't
on my
wait.
worst day, I'm a 10 in the studio.
Love
It's
that
incredible.
for us.
It's incredible. But as I was just telling you before, you're my dream guest because there's so much to discuss. I didn't even have to write legitimate questions. All I have is my notes app for the sake of not forgetting anything because there's such a plethora of things for us to discuss. So what I like to start off with is, who the fuck are you?
Oh,
Yeah.
whoa.
I know it's like really abrasive.
That is.
It
That's
is.
a lot.
But like, where'd you grow up? Like I know this is gonna be one that we have to take a second to get through because you've lived like 47 lives.
Yeah, I get that a lot. It doesn't feel like that, but my life is a little bit in chapters.
Yeah.
I grew up on the road because I rode competitive show jumpers,
Which
horses.
is so chic. And just really was like foreshadowing for your future.
In that, you can't really be in school, traditional school, and travel as much because the horse show year is literally the whole year. It's like January to November.
There's not like a season.
There's not really a season.
It's year
and
round.
you sort of just like follow the good weather. Like you're in Florida from January to April, then you come up here, then you go to Canada. Like there's no season.
So like when people ask you like where did you grow up, you are like I
say South Florida to keep things
Simple.
because we had a house there. I view that as my hometown, but I was really only there 4 months of the year.
That's insane. That probably was really exciting and invigorating, but like did it also create like a little bit of like instability of like where is home?
It definitely created a weirdness of like, I don't have a childhood home. I don't really have ties to anywhere.
Like a specific place.
Right. But it's all the same people at these horse shows. So it's like a traveling city.
Right. Like
So
that's like your group of friends.
It's still all the same people. So you become attached to people more than you become attached to places.
It's kind of beautiful.
It is really nice. And it like fosters some incredible like lifelong friendships and relationships too.
Are you still friends with some of those people? Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. That makes me really happy.
Yeah, it's really cute.
But you were born in Bermuda,
I was born in Bermuda.
which is crazy.
Yeah, just sort of on like a weird whim. My parents lived there for only 4 years, but I was born like 6 months before we moved.
And then was that when you guys went to Florida?
We went to Maryland
Okay.
from Bermuda because my dad wanted to like own this corn farm, I think. I don't know. There's like
So
some
niche.
very weird. It's very niche.
So niche.
And I was 2 years old. They got a divorce. My siblings were in boarding school by the time we moved. So I'm 9 and 10 years old, younger than them.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom and I moved to Boulder, Colorado for a little bit, which is where I started riding very, very competitively. And once I had sort of tapped that market, because the competition isn't super high in Colorado.
Yeah.
My mom, who rode and knew a lot of people in the horse show world, came to the East Coast and was like, who should my daughter ride with? And here we are. We found a trainer who does the whole circuit: Florida, New Jersey, Canada, Europe.
That's like so intense also, like such an
Yeah.
intense sport to be around, which by the way, I went to school in Boulder.
You
and I
did?
yeah,
At
to
CU?
University of Colorado. Yeah. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, have I ever seen anyone riding horses there? And I don't think I have. So I would imagine it's probably not like ripe for competition.
The barn was up in near Denver,
Okay.
and the Colorado Horse Park is in Parker. Do you know where that is?
Yeah.
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 So it's like not close.
But I love that like you guys even thought to go there or your mom thought to take you there.
Yeah. It was like not an option. My
Yeah.
mom was like, you will ride horses.
Did she have a background in riding horses?
Yeah, she rode
Okay.
growing up too.
Okay, classic. Like my
Classic,
husband's going to make our kids swim, whether they like it or not, because he was a swimmer. I get that. So you're riding horses competitively. You don't go to traditional school.
Correct.
I'm fascinated by people who get like homeschooled or have these like alternative methods of schooling. What did that look like? Was that like a couple hours of
was-
tutoring or?
So it was an online curriculum that technically it was built so that kids could do it self-paced, like with their parents. I had tutors that helped me through it, and it was like I would Monday, Tuesday would not ride and do only school. So like your typical 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. school. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday were ride days that I had to ride. So I'd go to school after the barn, and it would be kind of like what I could get done. And it was all self-paced, and I got a little bit behind. I think I ended up graduating high school like the August after I was supposed to, because I wasn't taking it seriously because I was riding 9 horses a day.
You had other priorities.
There were other things going on.
Like algebra was not top of mind. And I get that.
Truly.
And it wasn't top of mind for me either. And I wasn't riding a single horse. So I totally understand. But that was actually going to be my next question did you do that all throughout high school? Which it sounds like you did.
I did it from 3rd grade through high school. But it didn't feel like homeschooling. Like I think of people give homeschooled kids a bad rap because they're like, oh, you're weird or you're not socialized. Like I was going to the barn and around people all the time, and all of my friends were doing that same thing.
It was normal.
It was normal, and we were also going to these tutoring buildings, like we would call it school, and it was just a big room, and I'd be sitting on a couch with my tutor, my friend would be over there sitting on a couch with her tutor, so we were like in school.
It was like parallel academics.
Yeah, it was just flexible.
Okay. This is fascinating. I'm like curious what kind of lessons you've learned from horses, because I feel like they're very therapeutic animals. And I know you like rode in a very competitive manner, but I just feel like when you're that intimate with a horse on a daily basis, like there's lessons that these animals can teach you. They're like very special
They're very special.
and full of wisdom,
full of wisdom.
as are you, as we discussed in your last name.
We're so wise. They are very therapeutic, and when people ask me what I miss about it, I basically say only the animal, because the world is pretty toxic with the humans, but they're incredible. They're absolutely incredible, and it obviously teaches you a lot of hard work. It also teaches you that it's humbling.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like 120 pounds soaking wet, and I'm trying to tell a 1,200 pound animal what to do. If they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. You have to put in the effort to form a bond. I mean, they're your teammate.
Literally. I never thought about it like
It's
that.
the only sport in the world, I mean, the only Olympic sport in the world that has an animal involved, like a non-human teammate involved. And it's taken really seriously. Their health is taken really seriously. They have chiropractors and massagers and red light therapy, and they get drug tested, and they like everything. They're treated like the
humans.
athletes like that they are. And it's the craziest thing in the world, because you might be in a locker room getting an ice bath with like your buddy that's also on the soccer team. I was in the barn like icing my knee while my horse was getting ice.
Right. You're like, hey, bud, you like are friends with them, but you can't talk to them in a way.
Besties.
But there's probably such a significant bond that is
Significant.
formed. You're spending so much time
Totally.
with this animal who cannot speak to you, who is, again, also in a part responsible for your safety.
Your life.
Yeah, like it could kill you.
Yeah.
People get paralyzed. Like bad things.
Really bad things
can
happen.
happen.
Really, really bad things happen. It's really scary, and it's like I said, it's very humbling. And now that I don't ride every day and I get the opportunity to get on a horse 4 or 5 times a year, the gravity of just being around those animals hits you differently than when you're doing it every day. But I think you just have to really, really love it, because horses will call you on your bullshit. They can sense your anxiety.
Fear.
They can sense your fear. If you're scared, they're scared.
Yeah.
You really, it teaches you how to center yourself and how to take a deep breath. It's almost like you meditate a little bit, and you're like, I am responsible also for this animal who's taking care of me and their mental state.
Yeah.
So I have to be calm in order to help them be calm.
Yeah, I feel like you learn probably at a young age because you started so young how to energetically,
Yeah.
like just the sense of energy. Like as a child, like I didn't know what energy meant, like obviously, but you had to know what that was because it was ultimately going to be the thing that like protected you.
And in life now, and even as an adult, I've found the main thing that looks like is I was going to say I thrive in chaos, but if chaos is happening, I am the calmest, calm, cool, collected. You can't really rattle me.
Me too.
And it's very much like the world is on fire outside, and I'm like, okay, these are all the steps that we need to do. These are all the people we need to call. This is like, it's
a fight or flight
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. I'm going to briefly just take off this jacket, everybody, just for transparency. Oscar, don't even cut this out. Like, I just want everyone to see that I'm overstimulated. Oh, I'm free. I am free. Okay. Back to business. So I feel like one thing that, well, we have many things in common that I deduced from listening to you on other podcasts. We both grew up in like kind of chaotic childhood environments and like have interesting relationships with our parents in our childhood, but we also are former degenerates.
Yeah.
Which I'm sitting in front of you. You look like the most put together, like the most calm, like you've never done anything bad in your life. I'm curious, can you walk me through, like, at whatever level you're comfortable with, like, your degenerate era and, like, what ages that you went through that?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the horse world, you're very structured, and it also is, there's a huge emphasis put on your reputation because a lot of the competitions that you're in are judged objectively. It's not like who's the fastest and who can jump the highest. It's like how pretty does she look versus how pretty she looks on the horse. And these judges the judges are in the horse world too, and they hear about Megan was out drinking at the bars last night. Maybe I was standing next to the judge that's judging me tomorrow at the bar, and I'm like 15 with a fake ID, and he's like, "What are you doing here?"
And that gets back to people. Like it's a little bit like small town vibes because it's a small community.
Yeah. I really didn't like that. I really, really resented the fact that I was being sort of boxed into this. You have to be perfect. People's opinions matter. I was very much like, people's opinions don't matter. And I pushed against it a lot, probably too much. And the way I did that was drinking, partying, boys. Like, it was just, I pushed it probably too far, but all the time, because anytime someone was like, you really need to calm down, it's a bad look, I was like, I'll show you a bad look.
Rebellious.
Yeah.
I get that.
And I didn't have my dad in my life, so I was lacking a little bit of structure and like male energy there. And my mom, bless her heart, but she had me a little bit older. She had me at 44. So by the time I was a teenager, she was probably like, I don't want to fucking deal with this 16-year-old.
It's also just like youngest child syndrome in general.
And she traveled a lot. So the moment I had a driver's license, she was like, I'm going to Africa.
Africa?
Yeah, she loves to travel. So, and she picked up wildlife photography later on in life.
I love her.
So love her. She, like, to put it simply, I was like 16 and in Florida, and she said, I'm going to Africa for 6 weeks. Like, if there's an emergency, I'll call you on the sat phone.
The sat phone?
Like a satellite phone.
I was like, what is that? I guess that makes sense. In Africa, that's something you need.
Yeah. And so it's like very little parenting. And then she'd come home and be like, why are you so crazy? And I'd be like, well,
where were you? In Africa with the animals. Like, would love that, but I've been here fending for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had a lot to do also with, I didn't get along with one of my trainers, and she and her team just didn't really know how to handle a wild child.
Well, also, like, they're not your parents, and they're like,
and it is like an employee relationship of like, where's the line? We can't ground her.
Yeah.
We also, there was never a situation where like, oh, Megan did something bad, so she's not allowed to ride, because that wasn't a punishment for me because I was like, fine, I'll go party.
Yeah.
But two, you're always chasing points. You're trying to get like you have to keep yourself in front of the judges and riding in like
Yeah.
you have to stay active. So not being allowed to ride was never like
An
I
option.
never got grounded.
Yeah.
I never had like consequences.
I can relate to the not having consequences
Yeah.
and having like a little bit of a lack of parenting structure because, like, again, youngest child syndrome. I mean, my siblings were 4.5 and 6 years older than me. And like by the time they went off to college, I was entering high school
Yeah.
and my parents were divorced. They were like on and off for many, many years of my life. So my dad would kind of like move in, move out, whatever. But then when I got to high school, my mom and him were kind of done. And my mom was like, I want to live my life. So there was a lot of like, she didn't mean to like
Yeah,
kind of
to
turn
no
a blind
fault of
eye.
their own.
Yes, but I was like, I can't tell when I look back if I was actually crying out for help or attention and like trying to act out in that way, or if I genuinely was just like a teenager left to my own devices and was like, fuck this, like I'm gonna throw parties, I'm gonna be crazy, I'm gonna cause a fuss, like
Yeah.
the police are gonna know my name, that sort of thing. I think it was probably a little bit of both, but when you're that age and you have that lack of structure, something is like bound to
Yeah.
go awry. You know what I mean? And that is like definitely what happened with me. And it sounds like for you, it was more like rebelling. Like I have been in this structure and this routine and so disciplined my entire life. And like now I can kind of have a little bit of leeway
Yeah.
with freedom and like do
Just
something
took it too
fun.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that it was also like in part due to being so disciplined for so much of like your childhood?
Yeah. I think it was also I was very disciplined in my riding. I was very good at it. And when I was at the barn or on the horse, I was disciplined and I had my shit together
Focused.
and focus, yeah. And so when I got off the horse, I wanted to not be that.
Yeah.
And I went through a lot of stages of wanting to quit. At one point, I told my mom that I wanted to quit, and she was like, well, you have to do something. And I was like, I'm going to go join the military. Go to the Naval Academy.
Cadet Kelly.
Cadet Kelly.
Cadet Kelly. Okay. I did
Because
not.
I was so desperate. I mean, never in my life was I actually going to do that, and she fully called my bluff, and the next day I was back on a horse. But I was so desperate to express to someone that I didn't want to do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know what else I was going to do, and so one day I told her I wanted to join the military.
I love that she was like, yeah, you're definitely not going to do that. If you want to, like, go for it, but I know you're not going to. So
She was like, okay, next.
that's hilarious. Again, your mom being an icon.
Mm-hmm.
So riding is like your entire life and your
Yeah.
entire childhood. Then we get to 18.
Mm-hmm.
Do you continue to ride? Do you go to college? Like, what happens next?
I continue to ride. I went to the University of Miami for 3 semesters so that I could drive back and forth between Miami and it was West Palm Beach, basically, is where we were.
Okay.
And then the summer between my sophomore and junior year, right? Yeah. I got an internship in LA with an unpaid internship with a YouTuber who was really big at the time.
Can we bleep the name?
Yeah.
Who was it? Screaming.
Literally kill me.
Again, we will bleep it. Is so funny to me.
So weird.
Okay, so you got this internship. What were you going to be doing?
It was like grunt work.
Okay.
Unpaid intern. It was supposed to be just for the summer. 2 weeks in, his manager, who was also just like a young 20-something girl, quit and wanted to become a content creator herself.
Okay.
So I got promoted, essentially, hired full time, and ran his life.
Screaming. So you're like 20 at this point.
I had moved to LA when I was 21.
And then did you just say, fuck it with college? Like, did
Yeah,
you just
I
say,
didn't
I'm
go
out of
back.
Miami?
I didn't go back. I told my mom is very insistent that we all got college degrees and only one of us did, but that's fine.
at this point in life,
It
I'm
is
like,
what it
I
is.
don't really know if it makes a ton of sense unless you want to be a doctor or a lawyer.
Truly,
You know what I'm saying?
Truly.
Or like a meteorologist
Yeah.
or something.
So I stayed in LA and worked for him, and you know, shockingly didn't leave on great terms with that operation.
How long did you work for him?
Like a year.
Okay.
On it, a year officially, and then sort of on and off. For longer.
I can also imagine that being, I mean, Miami's so fun. My sister went there. And it's like a dream school. But I imagine that going from like having a non-traditional
Yeah.
academic upbringing
Yeah.
and then going to college,
Yeah. I
leaving
was failing.
leaving horseback riding behind too, like you're probably just like, you guys are kids. I'm an adult.
Truly.
This is like a little too, like,
It was very weird because it was college is a lot of kids' first time living without their parents, drinking, like making themselves a meal,
having freedom.
having freedom, having a car, like whatever it is. And I was just like, I don't know about those guys.
Yeah, like I think you were kind of like been there, done that. This
Yeah.
feels not beneath you, but like you probably almost felt like I'm not your peer. I'm
Yeah.
older than you guys.
Yeah.
Like you are having experiences I had 5 years ago.
It was a lot of like, let's go to this frat party. Like, this is so crazy and exciting, and let's pick out our outfits. And I was like, I don't think this is my journey. Like,
Right.
I don't want to be at a frat party. I don't want to wear like jeans and a going out top.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, those were the greatest times of my life, but like I totally get that. You're like,
Yeah.
this is not fitting with who I am and like
Right.
what feels right for me. Okay, so you go to LA. You're working for this big YouTuber. What happens next? Because I am like, again, I am looking at your life from the outside like a movie, and I just also want to say this. The reason I'm asking you these questions is because I've been following you for a long time. So long. I remember when I saw that shiny blonde bob, I was like, follow, Glaskin, follow, like the Halls, follow. Like I was so invested. But I remember when I first started following you, I had stalked you for a while. I couldn't find a ton of like story times about like your
Right.
personal life.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that I love this podcast is because I have people come on here and we get like a deeper dive into like who they are and like what
Right.
their life has been. You know what I mean? And so I'm asking you also for selfish reasons as one of your loyal followers.
that.
Because when I listened to those 2 podcasts that you were on that I didn't even know existed, I was getting like more information, like more bits and pieces. So I'm like just trying to paint the movie that is
Yeah.
Meg's life. So we get to LA, we're working for him. Then what happens? And why did you want to stop? I imagine it was toxic. But
It was very toxic, and shit just started to unravel. And I was like, I think I need to step away now. And I got this job working at a movie studio that was founded by one of the big production studios at the time. I'm not founded by the former president of one of the big production studios. And he split off from the big studio and was like, I want to go into short form content, and was hiring a bunch of basically kids who had worked on the admin side of YouTube to create this world of short form content for him. And we did like documentaries on DJs and
Cool.
followed them to Vegas.
oh my God, that's like my dream job. That would be literally my dream. So like little, like smaller social clips, basically,
Yeah.
not like actual movies.
Right. We would say like small screen, medium screen.
I love that.
Yeah.
Medium screen.
Medium screen, exactly. So I worked for him, and then I did some consulting after that. And then in 2020, I met a guy, and COVID hit and all of that. And in there, moved to Texas, married him.
That's when like I feel like 10 of the lives started there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like, there's like the LA chapter, then 2020 hits, and we get a whole different chapter.
Okay. So we can get into the next chapter now that we've covered childhood. Which like I feel like I have just such a better understanding of who you are because like from the horseback riding
Yeah.
to the like college is not for me. It all just makes so much sense. Like, you're also very hardworking and you come off that way. Like, very, very disciplined, very structured.
Yeah.
Like, you get shit done. You're not like sitting on your ass.
I have to be because I'm so ADHD.
Yeah, it's tough. Sometimes I like look into getting a corporate job again because I'm like, who's going to tell me what to do?
No, I
today?
just have to like pretend like my Google Calendar is my boss.
Yeah.
And it's every minute of the day is time blocked.
I'm gonna need to see that after because like I started adding everything to my calendar, but not to the level where people talk about it. Like I have time to meditate, like I have time to get ready.
No, I'm like the red flag psychopath, like shower,
I want that. I want that
workout,
life.
shower, do like answer emails, Kelly's podcast, travel time.
We have to talk about that afterwards because those are the little
There's
things
like
that
AI
I'm missing.
now that does it for you also.
And I had ChatGPT make me a weekly structure one week
Oh.
where I was like, hey, these are all the things that I have to do. Here's like all of the obligations I have, appointments, podcast recordings, whatever. The things that I have to film, partnerships that are due when they're due.
Right.
And it made me a 1 week calendar basically.
nice.
And I followed it and I was like, wait, why am I not doing this every week? So
Yeah.
someone remind me to do that again. Okay, so I have a really good sense of who you are now and like how the foundation of you
Absolutely.
was built. I don't know all of the details about this, but I do know some from listening to the Prenup podcast. Shout out to the Prenup podcast.
Really?
She's the best. So you meet a guy in LA in 2020 and you do end up marrying him.
I do.
And now you are sitting here today. You are divorced from that man.
Yeah.
You're in a happy, healthy new relationship. And that is just like, want to set the stage for you all on like what this next chapter of the podcast is going to be about. Because I think sharing stories like these are so important.
So important.
Because you're 29 years old.
29.
Her skin is perfect. You guys don't understand. You don't understand.
Are you joking? Your skin is like
It's even better in person. Yeah, it's even better in person. But I think this is so important to talk about because maybe this is toxic of me, but I say this all the time to people I know, friends, followers, whatever, who are like, oh my God, it feels like everyone is getting engaged and married and having a baby. And I just feel left behind. And I'm happily married, love my husband, not perfect, but like very close. And I say to them all the time, I'm like, look, we need to remind ourselves, like, which I'm sorry that you had to go through a divorce and like that sucks. But
yeah.
character building.
Character building. I'm also a big believer in not, as long as somebody did not get harmed, I don't believe in having regrets.
Agree.
Because any crazy or fucked up or stupid thing that I did or had to go through or put myself through or someone else put me through has brought me here.
Correct.
And regrets are just such a energy
Waste.
suck.
Waste of time.
And they can make you so depressed.
And life is full of wrong turns.
Truly.
It's full of wrong turns. And I kind of believe there are no wrong
and
turns.
I was just
Again,
gonna say, who's to say they're wrong? Because now here we are.
exactly. And I always like, I say to people, I'm like, we have to sometimes ground ourselves in the fact that, yes, you're seeing all these posts on Instagram, these collab posts.
Literally never in my life.
Literally, I have heavy breathing, labored breathing, just thinking about it. These collab posts on Instagram of people announcing their engagements and their perfect wedding photos. But we are going to start seeing people get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And just because someone got engaged does not mean that their life is perfect.
Yeah.
And that is that's a milestone. And a lot of those people are happy, and I'm so happy for them.
Yeah.
But I will be impressed when people are posting their 15-year wedding anniversary, and I have met them and know that they're genuinely happy and not like literally cursing each other out and
Yeah.
doing toxic manipulative shit behind everyone's backs all the time. That's when I will be impressed, you know, or be like, oh my gosh, that's something I aspire towards. But a collab post of an engagement on Instagram is nothing to necessarily aspire towards.
It's
so
not.
yeah. So let's get into it. So 2020 comes around. What happens next, Meg?
2020 comes around. I met this guy. I met him in LA, but he was living at the time in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And we had sort of like a little fling. I went out to Austin, and 2 days after I got there, the world shut down and the Austin airport closed.
So early March 2020.
Early March 2020. And we sort of just like lived in this little COVID bubble. Nobody knew what was going on. Restaurants were closed. Like, what do we do? We road tripped in his pickup truck from Austin back to LA. Lived in my
That's a long drive.
We stopped in Arizona and we also stopped in Colorado.
Okay. And how long had you known him for at this point? Like a month, 2 months?
A month, because I met him in February.
Okay.
But not like seeing each other for a month.
Right.
I had met him in LA and then he flew back to Texas.
Right. Like imagine like you just like meet someone, like you're like, okay, I'm gonna go do this like crazy thing, which is like to go like visit them, like whatever, YOLO, and then literally you can't even go home.
Literally trapped.
Yeah. Like I just needed to like recalibrate. Like that's what like a fling, going to visit, can't leave.
Can't leave.
Yeah.
We stopped in Arizona and then we stopped in Colorado. We stayed at my mom's place in Vail for like 3 weeks.
That'll make you like feel like we are falling in love.
Literally, and Vail being a ski village and like a tourist town basically only. We had the place to ourselves.
So romantic.
It was magical.
So romantic. And like it's also that like cusp time of like spring in Colorado where it's like everything is pretty and like you're in
so
nature and
pretty.
breathing fresh air and you're like, we should have a baby right now.
Should
That
make
is
one
what I would be
immediately.
thinking. Yeah.
If I could get to a doctor and get my IUD out.
Right now, I would do it. No, like I'm just really putting myself in your shoes. I'd be like, we are golden. We're
Oh,
together
also,
forever.
he was like a male model, and I was like, we're hot. We're like in the snow by ourselves. This is great.
What could be better?
Literally, what could be better?
And what could go wrong?
Well,
Totally.
everything. But then we got back to LA. COVID sucked. COVID sucked everywhere, but COVID sucked in LA. I mean, we had martial law. You get a ticket if you were walking your dog at the wrong time.
Same in San Francisco.
Yeah, it was terrifying
Tough.
and scary, and it started to get dangerous. And I was like, we got to get out of here. So we moved to Austin, and we're renting a house, but we had also bought a piece of land and we're building a house together. Not engaged, not married, boyfriend. Bought 2 acres of land and built a 5,000 square foot house.
And by the way, what month are we in now?
That's December 2020 is when we moved to
Okay.
Austin.
So we're like
beginning
just
of
coming up on a year.
Yeah, beginning of 21 was when we started building the house.
Listen, I want you to know the veil. It was the veil thing for
It
me.
was the veil.
I would have been seeing every sort of future with this person. Okay. And it could have been
was.
anyone, honestly.
It was the like FaceTime happy hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you've talked about this before a little bit in depth on the Prenup podcast, but when you bought that piece of land, was that like you bought that for you
bought
guys? Okay.
Yeah.
And you were like, we're going to do this, but like, was he included?
It was very much like, I'm going to buy this for us. And he was just sort of along for the ride.
Okay. And was he cool with that? And I ask because I'm fascinated by people who just like
Yeah.
let someone who they know is in a different financial situation than them just do things for them. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily what he was doing.
He definitely did. It was never really a conversation of like, he was never like, this is what I can afford, we should split it kind of thing, because it wouldn't have been possible.
Right.
And I don't remember if I offered or if I was just kind of like, we should do this and I should do this, whatever. But he was definitely, there was an ego hit to it, but what was he going to do?
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to live in a big, nice house and drive the pickup truck that I bought for him, and he wanted this life.
Mm-hmm.
And he, towards the end of our marriage, I think probably wanted it more than he wanted to be with me.
That's really tough to hear, honestly.
If he were able to support himself, or if he hadn't gotten so comfortable in this lifestyle, he probably wouldn't have ever married me, because we had so many problems before the wedding even happened that it was like, and I knew that. I'm not like, we had big issues, and I like knew what I was doing and I knew what was happening. It was just so subconscious that I was just like, we're just gonna let this play out.
You were burying it. You were pushing it down. Like
Yeah.
it was whispering until it screamed, and like at this point it was whispering, and you were like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, like get down there.
down.
Stay
Stay where you
Stay
belong.
in the basement right now. I get that.
But
I
the
mean,
ego thing, one good example of this is like we would go out to a dinner and he would have me give him my credit card so that he could give the credit card to the waiter. But then my credit card had my name on it.
You shut
so
your
the
mouth
waiter
right
would
now.
come out and be like, hand me the check and be like, thank you, Megan.
I'm sick.
And he would get pissed.
I'm sick. Okay.
I'm like, let's think about this logically here. Like, your name clearly isn't Megan.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, like that is, yeah, that's sick and twisted. So you guys buy this plot of land in Austin. You move, like, do you move? You're renting this other house.
Rent a house while we build on the land. Yeah.
Okay. And your mom is from Texas, so she was like living close by, right?
I bought a house like down the street. Yeah.
Okay. So at what point do we get engaged?
We got engaged. I'm so bad with years.
I mean, they were all a blur.
We literally all a blur. We got married September of 22, so we got engaged April of 21.
Okay, I see. At this point, when you get engaged, is it an immediate fuck yes, or are there still those like whispers of things when he proposes?
There were already problems.
Yeah.
We were already fighting. Our sex life was already going downhill. But I was like, this is happening. I'm going to create this marriage or relationship out of kind of thin air. And I did. And I arranged the whole thing. I told my mom what ring to give him so that he could have it reset and give it to me. I told him what to say when he was going to ask her permission. I told her what to say back. Like,
You knew what you want. Again, driven,
Master.
determined, disciplined, like work ethic.
I was
It
like,
all
this is
came
what
into
we're
play.
gonna do.
Yeah, it can be toxic sometimes. The work ethic.
Yeah.
If like geared toward the wrong
Yeah.
thing. I feel like a lot of people though, maybe even people listening, can relate to the feeling that you're being very vulnerable and transparent, sharing that like by the time that you were even discussing getting engaged and planning the wedding, that there were whispers.
Yeah.
And there are people out there who have those, maybe even right now, and they're too afraid to like call the whole thing off.
There's this term, and I meant to look it up because I knew we were going to talk about this. But it's essentially
Is it sunk cost syndrome?
sunk cost. Yes, the
Yeah.
sunk cost syndromes, or like, yeah, when you essentially are like, well, we're this far down the road. We're talking about engagement. I don't want to start all over. Like, I've put 2 years into this. What do I do? Start like dump him and start from day one with another guy? And like, how do I meet this guy? And I cannot stress enough that it's not real. Like, time, I hate to say, like, time is a social construct, but like, it really is. Like, if you are unhappy, it's only going to get worse with time.
Agree.
And I had that 100%. I was like, I've been with this guy for a year. We're building this house, blah, blah, blah. What would my life look like if I started over? I don't want to start over. This is easy. Also, I probably liked that I could manipulate him with my finances.
There was like a power dynamic kind
There was
of.
a power dynamic that I had in every relationship I'd been in to that point. And I was very much like, this is my show. If you don't like it, you can leave. You're not going to have a great life if you leave. But
Yeah. But it didn't even matter because you were like unhappy anyway. Yeah. And again, like we said, like it whispers until it screams. And I'm curious like when it started screaming for you. I feel like what I heard was that you were already married by the time it was like screaming and you couldn't quiet the noise in the basement anymore.
it started screaming, literally screaming. We started screaming at each other. We got into a horrendous fight one night, like 4 or 5 months after we got married. And he didn't know how to have like an articulate argument. So his way of doing that was, or his way of like winning an argument was to go for the throat and be really as mean as possible. And he was like, he knew that I wanted to be a mom and a young mom, and that's like something very, very near and dear to me. And he was like, I never want to have kids with you. You'd be a terrible mother. Like, never want you to be the mother of my children. He said that we have like a lot of cancer in my family, and he was like, I wouldn't want your genetics in my, like, all of these things that, like, why'd you just marry me if that was true? You're obviously just trying to be mean. But
that is one of the
regardless,
meanest things that you can say to someone in general,
Really
but
fucked.
especially someone who wants to have kids.
Yeah.
Like, that just felt like he like looked up like, what's the meanest thing I can say to her right now, and that's what came up because it's so textbook
It
mean.
it was like purposely, let's get Megan to shut up so that I can win this argument and she'll leave me alone. So I not moved out, but I went and lived down the street at my mom's house for like 10 days and trying to figure out what to do. And I remember in those 10 days, I watched Kelsey Ballerini's Call Her Daddy podcast episode.
I remember that episode.
And I was like, holy fuck, I can do this. I was like, look at her. And my mom wasn't there. She was at her house in Colorado. So I was in this house by myself, just like
Reflecting.
drinking wine and watching this podcast.
Yep.
And I went back to my house, told him I was coming to New York to see my friends, who a lot of my friends who I grew up with lived here. And I came here and I was like, I know what I need to do. It's like, I need to leave him, move here, and restart my life. Like, full reset button.
Start the fuck
rinse
over.
and,
Like
I gotta get.
like change my name, new address. Yeah. Like,
New
seriously.
social security number.
Yeah. And by the way, I think that that's very normal to like fantasize about, okay, I'm just going to do this. And also the part where you watched Kelsey Ballerini's podcast episode and saw that you could do that because you saw yourself in someone else, like, you're going to do that for someone else,
I
if
hope
not
so.
already.
That's-
Like, I'm sure you have already.
I really hope that's why I talk about this stuff. Like, I don't talk about it because it feels good to talk about. I talk about it because it's important to be open, especially between women,
Yes.
and learn from each other's experiences. You don't have to necessarily experience something. You can watch your friend or some bitch you follow on TikTok go through the same stuff you're going through and be able to pivot or make a different decision.
And start the fuck over.
Yeah.
You can start over whenever you want. Like, you literally, it's hard. I'm not saying like
Yeah.
it's easy, but you can make the decision
Absolutely.
to start over whenever you want. Like, whether it's a job that you're unhappy with, obviously there's different varying degrees of circumstances for people financially and such,
Right.
but relationships, friendships, like, you can start over
Absolutely.
at any point. And I think in relationships with women, it's like very, very, very challenging to get the courage to actually leave.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, like, how did you work up the courage to actually ask for a divorce? Because I would imagine that that's probably like one of the hardest conversations to have.
It was like admitting it to myself, obviously, when I was here in New York visiting, and I was like, okay, this has to end now. But I started out the conversation and I was like, we're obviously both very unhappy, and we've been in couples therapy. I'm a little bit at a loss. That fight that we had 2 weeks ago now was so telling to me. And he basically had the conversation for me, and he said, so you want a divorce?
Mm-hmm.
And I was expecting a 4-hour-long deep dive argument, like, conversation, and it took less than 4 minutes.
For him to cut to the chase.
Yeah, he was like, so you want a divorce? And I was like, well, yeah. And we got quiet for a second, and he was like, you're giving up on me? And I said, I don't feel like I am. I was like, I don't think there's really anything here to give up on.
I mean, even just that one fight that you guys had,
Yeah.
those are things you can't forget.
Yeah,
Those are things that like your nervous system remembers.
truly.
Like, even if he had done all of the work in the world and was like the most perfect version of himself 5 years later because he had done so much therapy and committed to you and was like, I'm going to change. Like those are words that I don't think can ever escape
Yeah,
you.
I'll never forget them.
Like words matter,
Yeah.
especially those kinds.
Those ones.
Yeah, you don't forget. Especially Tauruses. Tauruses don't forget.
You don't forget.
Yeah. Okay, so you have that conversation. How long does it actually like take you from the time that you like ask for a divorce to get divorced?
Well, thankfully I had a very good prenup. But it was, I asked for a divorce in February or March, and it was July by the time we signed the final papers, which is very fast. And thank goodness there are no kids involved or anything like that, or mutual property houses, anything like that. But he like tried to sue me over a painting that didn't exist. And I was like,
I remember you bringing this up on the prenup podcast.
yeah. And I was like, dude, just knock it
Wait,
off.
why was the painting so important to him?
Because
was
it was like his
monetary?
Yeah. It was his last ditch effort at getting any sort of money out of me.
Because the prenup
Because
was
the-
basically sealed.
The prenup was basically said you leave with the marriage with what you came in. You leave the marriage with what you came into the marriage with.
Mm-hmm.
And he came in with $5, and I came in with everything else.
Yeah. And you were carrying the team on your back
I was
financially.
carrying the team, and I didn't have to, but I did give him the $150,000 Ford Raptor that I had bought him, and one of our dogs, which like is
Yeah.
everyone thinks it's very heartbreaking. Which like I'm such a dog person, and like if someone tried to take my dog that I have now away from me, I would commit murder. That dog I bought for him, and it was a black lab, and I've grown up with black labs my whole life. Very well trained, like bird dog black labs.
Yeah.
This was not that. He trained it terribly.
That was like his dog.
I was like, you guys go. Cause
Yeah.
this is
And from what it sounds like, I feel like you were very compassionate to the best of your ability
Yeah.
to make this like in as easy as possible for you both to like go your separate ways.
Totally.
Like did I hear this correctly that you paid for his therapy for a little bit?
I paid for his therapy until the divorce was final because I felt like I need him to be as stable as possible, and he won't pay for it. He can't afford it. So I was like, keep going to therapy because I'm already paying for it.
And I don't need you to lose your
Yeah,
shit
and
during
I
this
don't
process because I need to get
know
out.
What it looks like if you don't have that outlet every week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kept paying for his
That is extremely gracious and I think also very, again, wise.
wise. I genuinely, if I'm being completely honest, it was not out of the kindness of my heart. It was like a selfish, like, I need this person to be stable.
Yeah, but like still, I'm still gonna give you your flowers. But even though I appreciate the self-awareness and the honesty about it being a little bit of a self-serving, giving act, like I still think like that was really kind because a lot of people would have just like left him high and dry in every sense of the word. And I think it's also important like that we're talking about the prenup candidly. And I was having this conversation with, why am I blanking on her name? Lily from the podcast? Yes, Lily. Lily. I was having this conversation with Lily when I met her because I don't have a prenup. I think that there is a misconception, again, that I also had, that only two types of people get prenups. People with trust funds and people who have assets or own businesses before they go into a marriage. That was my understanding. I mean, I got engaged at 26, was married at 28. Like, I didn't know shit about fuck. I still don't. But we're learning. And
It's never too late for a postnup.
yes, apparently that is a real thing. I'm learning more and more every day about your options. But so that was like really the two categories of people that I understood got prenups. I only knew people who own businesses and people who had trust funds. And people also get confused on like what a prenup is. Like if you get divorced, the state that you live in or got married in already has a prenup written for you.
You have one.
It's the divorce laws that are written for you. So like a prenup is just your customizable way of saying this is what happens if we get divorced. It's not up to the state. Like it's up to this legal document. And I just didn't know that before. So I just wanted to like put that on record. Like that's what a prenup is.
Prenups are for everyone. Everyone should have one. I don't care how much money you have in your bank account. I don't care what you do or do not own.
Yeah.
You can protect future assets.
Like
Prenups
you
are
could
great.
literally write, if you cheat on me, I get 75% of everything, our dog. And if we own a house, I get that too.
Yep.
Right? I don't
Yeah,
see why
it's
not.
state by state and what is actually enforceable. You can put whatever you want in a prenup.
I would have an
but coming
unhinged
down
prenup.
to enforcing it is where
It becomes tricky.
you kind of have to know the law a little bit. You can be like, I want all of your left socks, but not your right sock.
Yeah, get creative. Get creative. I would literally be like, Andy, I will get all of your Brunello
Yeah.
if you cheat. Yeah. It's worth something. So I want to, can we skip to the good part? You know,
Yeah.
that you are in such a happy relationship now.
Literally the best.
By the way, like it does radiate off of you. And I am convinced that like people like being in a bad relationship can also like affect your skin. And I don't know what your skin was like before, but like your skin's glowing. Like I know that you're
No, it
loved.
actually does.
I know that you're loved and in a healthy relationship. What was it like dating after divorce? Because for context, I'm like literally giving your life story. Like you leave Texas, you moved to New York, and you literally hit the reset button and start fresh.
Fully.
Start fresh.
Literally pretend like I was never married. For the first couple of months, pretend like I'm not going through a divorce. Partying my ass off like I'm 16 again.
Yeah. You're like, well, also COVID, you lose like years off your
You
life.
lose
So you're like,
years.
let me just come back to when I was
Yeah.
like 24, 25.
Also reunited with my lifelong best friends who the last time we all lived in the same town together was when we were like partying like teenagers or were teenagers.
like, yeah.
So
God,
it
that's
was
healing.
just like, it was the best summer ever. I was calling it my yes girl summer. I was like in the Bahamas. I was just like bopping around,
Living your best
living
life.
my best life, saying yes to everything, and just like having the best time.
I'm so happy for you. How did you get back into dating though? Because that must be like a tough Band-Aid to rip off, or was it not for you?
Because
you probably
I went
already
into
mourned.
dating very much. Well, two things. It was unusually easy for me because my boyfriend, I downloaded Hinge. He was the first swipe. I never spoke to like another man after him.
I love that. I was also, Andy was my first and only Hinge date and first connect. Yeah.
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 It's like, you all are weird.
I don't want to do this. Bye.
I was starting to like lose hope because I was like, this is so weird. And then I swiped right and we matched and I was like,
Love. But so like the first date, were you like shitting your pants? Like, oh my God, I haven't been on a first date in so
I was
long.
still married.
Okay.
And yeah, I was pretty nervous, but went to the Edition on Madison and had a tequila soda at their lobby bar. And I was like, holy shit. He's an adult and he's wonderful. And I've known you for 11 minutes and I'm obsessed with you. And like, this is what it's like to have a conversation with someone who isn't like so deeply insecure. And it was such a breath of fresh air. And I was like, well, single Meg didn't last very long.
Did you tell him that you were going through a divorce?
Not at the moment.
Which
well, this
is
what
fair,
happened.
by the way, to not say it on the first. Like, I get
Yeah.
that. You don't need to air your dirty laundry at every first date, you know?
Right.
But
I
like,
was like, I don't owe these men anything. Well, turns out it was only one man. And also, I'd been married and didn't know how to work dating apps. So my Instagram was attached to my Hinge.
I see.
And my wedding photos were still on my Instagram. So he knew.
So we were in a pickle. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Did he
played it
know
very
before the
cool.
first date?
He knew before the first date.
Oh,
my,
so he was already chill.
My wedding photos were on Hinge. Like
Yeah.
on my Instagram on Hinge.
So did he ask you?
No, he played it completely cool. And then a couple months later, I was like, so I feel like I need to tell you something, and you know, whatever. I'm not even divorced. I'm actively
Going through a
divorced.
divorce. Yeah. Yeah.
Legally still married. And he was like, I know. And I was like, what?
You're like, how? Because did he not follow you on Instagram that whole time?
Well, he has an Instagram in the sense that he has an account, but
Yeah,
he literally
doesn't
uses
use
it
it.
to send memes to me and his friends.
Good. Men, get out.
So-
Get out of our platform.
No, I didn't even know that he had an Instagram. He wasn't. It was just like not.
Yeah.
It's not a part of our relationship at all. Besides the fact that we like send each other funny videos.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I love
No, an offline man, nothing hotter. Like men should not know how to make a highlight reel.
It's not
Unless
for
you're like an
them.
artsy photographer.
It's not for them.
It's for us. Let us have one
Let me
thing.
play with my makeup on TikTok and
100%.
Instagram and
Andy has no idea what I do every day,
not a clue.
which is perfect.
It's the best.
So what is it like to be in like a happy, healthy relationship after all of this? Like I'm literally like dying for this to reach one person who's like in a shitty relationship with their shitty boyfriend or fiance,
Yeah.
or is like having second thoughts and doesn't think that there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel.
It literally, I wake up every single day and it like, I live inside the light at the end of the tunnel. Like everything's happy, everything's bright. We just got a puppy in March. I'm obsessed with him. My boyfriend's obsessed with him. Like, I don't have the words. Like, we wake up in the morning, we go to our respective gyms. He goes to the gym and I go to Pilates. We come home, we drink coffee, we have breakfast with our puppy. Like, it's the best. I texted him today and I was like, I'm like unreasonably obsessed with you.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And he was like, did something happen? And I was like, no.
No.
And he was like, back at you.
It's like, I'm always hesitant to say, like, when people ask me, like, well, how do you like realize someone's the one or whatever? Like, how did you know? I'm like, it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's not, but it's not settling. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't just say like, oh, this is easy, so I'm going to do it. Like, easy is not like the bar
It's
for me,
not-
but it's just calm.
And it's also not necessarily about ease all the time. Like,
Because
he
it is hard
pushes
actually
me.
sometimes.
Like I mean, like he pushes me and he will like challenge me on shit where I'm like, maybe I'm being avoidant or I'm being a brat or something's going on with my work. And he's like, do you really think that's the best? And I'm like,
He's not like a yes
no.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
and
the
like,
best.
That's not easy, but it makes me a better person. And like, I want to level up to his expectations of me as much as he wants to level up to my expectations of him.
Yeah.
And you become this like team that's just completely unshakable. Like, I don't know if I've ever been in a relationship where it's this much trust. I don't even think about it as trust because I'm not like, oh, he's going on a work trip, I trust him. It's like, I don't even think about it.
Yeah. It's literally not a thought.
I'm not like, it's okay that he's going on a work trip because I trust him. I'm just like, he's going on a work trip.
It's like, I trust you implicitly.
It, like, under all circumstances.
Yeah.
He could be at a strip club with a stripper's glitter butt cheeks in his face, and I would have no problem with it.
Yeah. And isn't it just like so safe?
Like, have so much fun. Please take a shower when you get home.
Yeah, have the time
Not
of your
that
life.
he goes to strip clubs,
I'm
but like,
dying for Andy to go to a strip club. Like, that's like the level to which I'm like, please, like, do something
Yeah.
like precarious, like, go crazy. He doesn't want to, so like
I
that's
can't imagine if we get engaged and he wants to go on a bachelor party, it's gonna be like him and 9 dudes going to a nice golf course
Right.
and like having a steak dinner.
right. And like, he just strikes me as the kind of man who like has a good job, and like you're probably like, this is amazing. Like, I don't have to
It is
like give you your little
it's
income for the
unbelievable.
week.
I'm on his credit card.
Slay, authorized users.
Authorized user.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
That was
men should be
that
working.
was sexual. When
Yeah.
That happened.
I
was
imagine that's probably big for you after coming out of a
It was
relationship
major.
where you were like financially carrying the weight.
Yeah, and it was every single one of my relationships was like that too. It wasn't like that was a one-off. I supported every single boyfriend.
The last thing that I want to talk to you about is about drinking, because I'm not sober. I just don't drink.
Okay.
I mean, for the most part, like I'm sober, like aside from like a couple times out of the year. But I'm curious, what drove you to the decision to not drink anymore?
Um,
You're like, how much time do we have? And
Yeah,
we like
truly,
only
we
have
only
a
have 5
finite
minutes.
amount of time.
I come from a family that has a history, genetically, like scientifically backed, of alcoholism, and I never really. It's so normalized, right? Like, if you ask a doctor what alcoholism is, it's like 5 drinks a week. I was having like 12 drinks in a night, 3 times a week. And I was also not really a functioning alcoholic. Like, I was losing 2-3 days to hangovers.
I see.
And I was starting to become a really, really mean drunk. especially to my poor boyfriend. And I just ended up, I was like, I have too much to lose.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point here? And I mean, every single facet of my life, I say this all the time, I sound like a broken record, but every single facet of my life got better almost immediately when I stopped drinking.
It's pretty incredible, right?
It was unbelievable.
It is the only thing in my life that if you asked me to make a cons list, there wouldn't be a single one.
There is no cons list.
There is a very short period of time where you have a discomfort, and obviously, like, I wasn't an alcoholic, but I was very, very, very problematic every single time I drank because I only drank to black out, and I was very mean. And I, same as you, was like, I have too much to lose. Like, I cannot do this anymore. Like, I officially have something to lose. And it was Andy. That really was like the impetus for that decision. But there's a very short window where you have to adjust to things like weddings or birthday parties or going out to dinners or these social interactions where people are inherently just like drinking. There's a short window that you have to adapt to that, and then that is the only con on the cons list.
Truly.
And it's literally lasts a short period of time.
Not very long,
And then everything gets better.
Everything gets amazing. Literally amazing.
Like, how good do you feel?
Like,
Because it's been like almost a year.
almost a year.
I'm so proud of
10
you.
months today.
Do you mind if I ask, did you like struggle with other substances?
Yeah.
Okay, me too.
I had a coke problem for a while. I got kind of accidentally addicted to painkillers after my first boob job.
Oh.
That wasn't terrible, but it was something where I was like, oh, I can get addicted to things.
Right.
While I was like already drinking, but it was still like.
Yeah. Those
But
are
yeah, I just
slippery.
didn't really have an off switch with, I wasn't like a 1 or 2 glasses of wine a night kind of girl. And it just, it got to be like, I don't really have a choice.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, it was like literally be happy and like flourish without this thing that I lean on as a crutch for support that's giving me absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Or give it up and get everything.
Literally.
Like, that's what I tell
everything.
people. You literally give something up and you get everything.
Yeah.
And like, look at you. Like, we just went through your entire life story. No big deal. And you've, been through a lot. And I'm going to have you back for a part 2 because we didn't even get into like childhood therapy, like boob jobs, all the things. Like, there's so much more that I could
There's
unpack with
more.
you. But we just scratched the surface, and like hearing all that you've gone through and like where you are now, like, I just hope that you take a second after this to really like feel that, because from the outside I can see it. Like, you are literally living all of the benefits of like making the hard choices in life.
Yeah.
Giving up alcohol, leaving a bad relationship. Like, you're in a happy, healthy, flourishing relationship. You've given up alcohol. Like, you're literally so successful. We didn't even get to talk about the 16th, but we have to shout it out. So let's end on this note. Where can everyone find you, and what is the 16th, and why should people?
The
Follow
16th is
along.
an online magazine, digital publication. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Meg Wise, WIESS.
We'll link it in the show notes.
And the 16th is in my bio.
Perfect. And it's like, it's kind of like the skinny on everything. Like,
it is. It's like, it's intentional consumption instead of just like scrolling your For You page and maybe seeing 1 in 300 posts that's anything.
it's
is
like
just
a
brain rot.
digest of like fashion news,
Yeah.
business news, like all of the things.
It's like art, culture, fashion, commentary.
So if you want to sound informed, the 16th
Yes.
is where you're going to get it.
Come read us.
I'm so proud of you. It's
Thank you.
incredible. So we're going to have you on for a part 2.
Perfect.
But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for
and
having me.
I like really am upset. Like, I need to start booking 2-hour slots for guests. Like, this is just like not going to cut it anymore. But again, I will see you next week, next Thursday. Please like leave a review, like leave 5 stars, please.
5 stars.
I would really appreciate it. Meg, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're the best. I need another hour with you.
Yeah.